1, 2, 3, 4, and... Welcome back, everybody. In this video, our focus is going to be exercise number 8 from Solo Guitar Playing 1 by Frederick Noad. And this is the first exercise where we are going to have to play notes in the lower 3 strings. Now, luckily for us, the only one of those lower 3 strings we'll be playing is the 4th string. The other 2, we'll get to those in exercises 9. In exercise 9, we'll get to the other 2. But I do want to go over how to play the thumb. Oh, let's just go over the notes first of all. So we have D, which is the 4th string open. Okay. And by the way, these 3 notes, or these 3 strings, I should say, the majority of the time we will be using our thumb to play them. Okay. So again, the 4th string is D, 4th string open. The 5th string is A, 5th string open. And the 6th string is E, the 6th string open. Okay, so we have 2 E's now. E on the 1st string and E on the 6th string. All right, where were we? Exercise number 8. We're only going to be playing the 4th string with our thumb. We're not going to be playing an A or an E. But it's really important that you are playing this D correctly. Now, when you play D, in this exercise, and well, when you play these bass strings is what I really mean, you want to make sure that you're using your thumb properly. You don't want to pull up and out like this. You just want to push kind of down a little bit, maybe a little bit out, but most of it is going to be a downward motion. Okay, so that you're doing a rest stroke with your thumb. See, I push down, and then the 3rd string stops my thumb from continuing downward. Okay, you definitely do not want to play your thumb in a manner that forces your thumb into the palm of your hand. I'll have close-ups of this. If you do that, you are preventing your fingers from being able to follow through with their motion. So you want to make sure that you keep your thumb outside of away from the path of the fingers. Notice my thumb goes down, but it never really goes anywhere else. It's not tucking in, and it's also, like I said earlier, it's not coming out like this. That's going to create some problems. Your thumb could catch, it can get stuck, and it'll also produce a brighter tone. Now, a brighter tone isn't bad necessarily, okay? But I'm just telling you that's what would happen. So we're gonna make sure that we play down, okay, just like this. You don't have to bend your thumb backwards. Just kind of keep it straight, okay? Make sure your skin and your nail are both touching the string, and then you just push down, just like that, okay? All right, so in exercise 8, our first note is D, okay? Followed by G, and then B, and then G. Now, above these notes, you have these letters, P, I, and N. Now, I and M, you should already know what those mean. I means your index finger, M means your middle finger. P is the letter we use for the thumb, okay? I believe the word itself is pulgar, P-U-L-G-A-R. I could be mistaken. So that first measure, we're going to play thumb, okay? And then index, and then middle, and then index. Now, I did mention earlier, when you play with your thumb, you want to push down, okay? But I did also mention you're going to want to go out just a little bit. And in this measure, that's exactly what you want to make sure you do, so that you don't play a rest stroke with your thumb. Because when you play a rest stroke with your thumb, you're stopping the 3rd string. You're in contact with the 3rd string, and you got to play the 3rd string next. So in this instance, you want to play out, but not too much, just enough so that your 1st stringer can play that 3rd string, your index finger can play that 3rd string freely, just like this, okay? And then you have the other notes, and that would be your first measure. In measure 2, you have B as a half note. 1, 2, followed by G as a half note. 3, 4, and you would play middle first, followed by index first. In measure 3, you have, looks like thumb, index, and the notes themselves are D, G, D, G. So we just have D, G, D, G. Pretty basic. And then in measure 4, we have a B played with our middle finger, and it's a whole note. A whole note is 4 counts. You play it, count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we played B with our middle finger, so going into the next measure, we got to use our first finger, and that's one instance of awkward string crossing, although I would hardly call it that, simply because that B that we play with our middle finger is a whole note. We have a lot of time to just sort of reset. So while technically, I guess you could say it is an awkward string crossing, there's so much time in between, it's almost like you're starting over anyways. So we have, again, that B is a whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. And during these four counts, it would be a good idea to place your index finger on the first string so that you're ready to play it on the next count, on the first count of that measure. So in other words, here's B. 1, 2, place it down. 3, 4. You're already there. You're already ready, and you know you're not going to miss the string. And now we have in measure 5 4 E's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I am. All right. Next note, or next measure, I should say. We have 2 B's. They're half notes. We're going to use our index finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then into the next measure, we have index on the third string. That's a G. 1. Well, let me break it down. I'm sorry. G, B, G, B. So I am. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the final note is going to be your first string open. That's an E. And you can go ahead and play that with your ring finger. It's kind of laid out perfectly for us. I am, A. All right. And that's basically the exercise, making sure that we are using our thumb correctly, even though we only play it 3 times. Make sure that you're not doing anything unnecessary. There was one thing, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure your thumb is always resting on that 4th string, okay? Try not to put your thumb, I might have put it on the 3rd string, which is why I'm mentioning it. Make sure you keep your thumb on the 4th string, because there will be times when you have to play the 3rd string. So just keep it on the 4th string if you can, all right? And that's it, okay? Practice it, and when you're ready, I will see you in exercise number 9. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.